The modern world is all about evolution. Better ways to do tasks are coming up every day, and old approaches are sometimes doomed to fail in the long run. Today, we will be talking about 6 businesses or business systems that won't be useful or successful 5 years from now. Being a successful competitor in the market or having a profitable product really doesn't mean that you will always stay like this, unless and until you innovate your methods and products. Nokia's downfall is an example of this. Nokia failed to recognize the customer needs. They, as a company, believe that being a leading company in the mobile phones, they will always remain like this. They didn't recognize their competition such as iPhone. iPhone documented the changing lifestyle of humans and produced a product that satisfied the customer needs and matched with their modern lifestyle. However, Nokia failed to understand this, and that's why they botched and became irrelevant. Let's take a look at other topics in business that will radically change going forward. Having fixed working hours. Once the clock hits 5, the workplace becomes empty. People leave the workplace in a rush. People going to their homes believe they are done with work and now business has been closed. However, this is not true. Modern businesses works better and faster. Companies work 24/7 and issues have to be fixed at the time they occur, not the other day when an employee comes at work. This will lead to more problems and distortions. Thus, the working hours should be flexible. The employees should not have fixed hours, rather they should be available whenever the company needs them. This idea has been taken by many companies now, and the business world is now shifting towards this idea. Thus, in the future, we will see the firms totally shifting to the flexible hours and fixed work hours becoming non-existent. Paperwork. Even in the present era, the paperwork has been almost vanished due to digital systems. In old days, and even now in government offices, paperwork literally means paperwork. Every document of the company was within the sheets of paper with beautiful handwriting. Everything within a company, meaning from official orders to letters to customers, all were written on paper. Making sure that employees had the right amount of papers on their desks was also some kind of mission. Imagine after doing the whole work, a file has been stored in the garage. Trying to find it meant a trip down to the garage room and trying to find it in every cabinet of the room. The problem doesn't end here. You have to put all other files back in the cabinets in an ordered way. Today, however, we all have the data on our fingertips. With the availability of the internet, we have access to everything on just one click away. The paperwork is lengthy, tiring, and difficult to manage. The availability of the modern gadgets has made this problem almost non-existent. In the upcoming years, it will not even exist, and the future generations would wonder how the older generation ever managed to work on the paper. Chain of command. A workplace should be flexible. There shouldn't be a chain of command when a work is assigned, rather a boss telling its people what they need to do. There should be a team leader whose main objective should be how a team works rather than leading a team. Following this pattern, a company would flourish more and will be able to get maximum work done. As businesses are growing, this idea is becoming more popular. In the future, the idea of having a chain of managers will become totally non-existent, and having a team that works together and assigning work on the basis of credibility of each worker will flourish. Distribution of newspapers. Newspapers play a significant role in the spreading of news and information. However, the shifting of the medium has greatly reduced its importance, as the presence of smartphones and the internet has increased by a large amount. This means that people are increasingly connected to media through their cell phones, which is damaging the newspaper industry as more clients are shifting their consumption patterns. Over the next few years, more global internet access is expected to pressurize the newspaper industry. The usage of the smartphones is also to increase in the next 5 years, so the advertising and reading are expected to shift away from the printing medium and towards the digital media and platforms. COVID-19 pandemic has not affected the industry in the long run as it was already going through declining phase. The distribution of newspaper will not exist in the next 5 years. Rather, people will prefer a news that is just one click away. DVDs and CDs. This industry has gone through significant changes over the past few years and still going through changes, mostly a declining phase. The streaming sites have strongly outplaced and replaced the physical media at a very remarkable frequency. The online streaming sites are now taking over and account for the majority of movie consumption. This trend can also be seen in video game CDs, however, this transition's a little slower. Anyway, the low-price streaming sites and videos are taking over the DVDs, CDs, games, and the video games industry. There is now a hindering demand in the DVDs, CDs, games, and the video gaming industry. The video streaming services are likely to increase more in the next few years. Subsequently, the decrease in the sales is expected to move this industry out of the business over the coming few years. Postal Services. The majority of postal services are working at a loss. This business has faced increasingly difficult operating conditions and ultimately revenue declines. Imagine sending a very important document to someone. First, you will have to call a postal service, then they will send someone to collect your parcel, and then will take money from you too. The order will reach in few days. This is a very slow way. Now, the availability of the internet means that the information can be transmitted in just one click. As internet has already taken over other fields, it has taken over the transmission of the information too. The postal services have already become non-existent, and within coming years, it will totally vanish. Now it is up to you, producers, sellers, and marketers, to adapt to the ever-changing world and to evolve their product and service portfolio in order to stay relevant. Not an easy task, but it's necessary because otherwise, these companies will fade away.